The air is just electric. It's October 17th, Nashville.
Right.
This is the final night of a massive world tour, and you've got the spotlights just bathing the Bridgestone Arena. Keith Urban, the king of country resilience, he steps to the very edge of the stage.
And the crowd is just waiting for that big hit, the encore, that moment of connection. But Urban had something else planned.
He does. He walks over to this woman in the crowd, kneels down, and hands her his microphone. He just asks for her name.
And she says this line, it's straight out of a movie. She knows what's going on. The whole world is watching his every move, she says.
You're not going to like it.
That pause. The whole arena, and pretty soon the entire internet, is just holding its breath.
And she whispers it into the mic. It's Nicole. The sound of the crowd is it's deafening. Laughter, applause, everything. And Keith Urban, he reacts perfectly.
Oh, it was perfect. He collapses, just dramatically flat on his back, throws an arm up in this mock disbelief.
And that one single moment, that self-deprecating fall, it instantly became the defining public image of his entire split.
He completely controlled the narrative. He made himself the resilient, funny guy before the press could paint him as bitter or, defeated.
Well, welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take these huge, explosive moments, these viral bits of Hollywood drama, and we uncover the meticulous strategy behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission today is pretty clear. We're taking that unforgettable stage moment as the centerpiece of a deep dive into the high-profile separation of Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman.
That's right, because what you're seeing here isn't just a breakup. It's a masterclass in celebrity crisis management.
Every move on stage, every viral video,
every lyric change, and crucially, every single detail in the legal paperwork, it all feels so perfectly calculated.
So we're going to unpack the timeline of a separation that was, financially finalized and legally over long before anyone even knew the marriage was in trouble. Okay, so let's get into it. To really understand that collapse on stage, we have to go back before the divorce filing, to the precursor scandal that really got the rumor mill going. We're calling this segment 1, the fighter's pivot.
The official split was confirmed when Kidman filed for divorce on September 30th, after almost 2 decades of marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. But the real sort of strategic move happened days before that.
On September 27th, to be exact, at a show in Omaha, he's performing his song, The Fighter.
And this song is so important to their story, to their public image as a couple.
Oh, absolutely. He described it back in 2017 as a deeply personal vow to Nicole, a promise to protect her, to take care of her.
And this is where he gets clever. Instead of singing that globally known line, "When they're trying to get to you, baby, I'll be the fighter," he changes it on stage.
He changes to reference his 25-year-old touring guitarist, Maggie Baugh. He sings, "When they're trying to get to you, Maggie, I'll be your guitar player."
And the fallout was immediate and sensational, and I think entirely predictable.
Maggie Baugh posts the clip to her own Instagram.
Yeah, with the caption, "Did he just say that?" And
Yeah.
the little, the wide-eyed emoji.
And that tiny video just fueled this intense speculation about a romance. Sources started saying the buzz was all over Nashville.
The timing is just, it's incredible. You have this huge headline-grabbing proxy conflict, an alleged affair, and it blows up right as the divorce is about to be filed.
So you're saying the goal wasn't really to start a rumor, but to shift the entire public discussion.
Precisely. You have to remember what the alternative story was.
Right.
Urban had made these comments before, hinting at the much colder reason for the split. He said his music was my life and my purpose, and that it required
Relationship sacrifices. I remember that.
Exactly, and that is a terrible look in the court of public opinion.
It paints him as the absentee husband who chose the road over his wife and kids, an obsession with his career that let a 19-year marriage just wither.
That narrative, the career-first one, it's permanent. It damages his image. It makes him seem cold. But the Maggie Baugh rumor...
It's the perfect distraction. Hot, dramatic, temporary, tabloid gossip.
It shifts the focus to, did he cheat? Which is a much easier story to manage and, frankly, move on from. It's a flare-up, not a permanent stain.
Wow. If you're enjoying how we're breaking down these hidden Hollywood strategies, make sure you're subscribed to The Deep Dive. Because the public drama with the lyric change was only possible because of what was happening in private.
Months of intense private planning.
That's the real deep dive. Moving from the spectacle to the strategy. This is segment 2. Uncontested and resolved.
This is where it gets fascinating. The public was told the separation date was September 30th, the day of the filing.
But that wasn't true.
No. Insider reports confirmed they had been living apart since the beginning of summer. Kidman was in the Nashville home, and Urban was in a property nearby.
So that quiet period, those 3 months, allowed for all the real work to happen behind closed doors. And the biggest clue is right there in the paperwork.
The divorce was filed as uncontested.
Which, for a couple this wealthy and famous, requires a massive amount of pre-planning.
A huge legal and financial effort, all in advance. We know from the court filings that Urban signed the full settlement agreement way back in August. Kidman signed in early September.
So the real work was done long before the paperwork was filed.
Exactly. It guarantees a fast, clean legal process. It protects their brands from a messy public court battle.
Let's talk about the details of that pre-planning, because they are incredibly telling, especially when it comes to their 2 daughters.
The parenting plan, also signed weeks in advance, is shockingly specific. Kidman requested to be the primary residential parent.
And the final arrangement was what?
She has the girls for 306 days a year. Urban gets 59 days.
Wow. 306 versus 59. That's not an accident.
It's a strategic statement. It legally codifies the reality of their lives long before the public knew. It acknowledges the fundamental imbalance in who's available, which ties right back to his commitment to touring.
It's the legal version of those relationship sacrifices he talked about.
It is. It's the official acknowledgement of who holds down the home front and who is on the road. The fact they both agreed to this, weeks before filing, shows total consensus on how the marriage was ending.
And the finances were just as clean?
Just as clean. The documents confirmed neither star would pay spousal support, and Keith had already prepaid all of his child support obligations.
Prepaying child support, that's a high-level move.
It is. It's about closing the door completely. No lingering monthly financial ties that could be used as leverage later on. They both listed their income at a base of $100,000 a month, basically signaling we're both fine, we're independent.
It's the cleanest A-list divorce you could imagine. But there's a huge wrinkle in all this perfection. We called it emotional asymmetry. While Urban's side is executing this flawless legal and PR plan, sources were reporting that Kidman was devastated.
That she felt hurt and betrayed and had been fighting to save the marriage.
So how does that fit in?
That emotional difference isn't a flaw in the plan, it's part of it. If one person is visibly upset and the other is visibly resilient and funny like Urban collapsing on stage, who do you think the public rallies around?
The performer who seems to be handling it with grace.
Exactly. He gets to play the sympathetic, lovable artist overcoming heartache. It distracts from the colder story that he chose his career over his wife.
Which brings us right back to that Nashville stage. And segment 3, narrative control. The joke, the grievance, and the scold.
The dramatic collapse on October 17th, it wasn't just funny. It was the ultimate act of narrative control.
It neutralized all the bad press. It framed him as self-aware.
Yeah.
And then he doubles down, right?
Yeah.
He helps that same pregnant fan announce her news. He signs her smallest Keith Urban fan onesie.
He gives the audience exactly what they want. Humor, generosity, resilience, the perfect package.
But there's a crack in the facade. At that same exact concert, he's also performing You'll Think of Me, an old breakup song from 2002.
And this is where the real, genuine bitterness seems to leak through.
He takes this old song that has nothing to do with Nicole, and he inserts these angry new lyrics.
This is where that polished, uncontested story starts to fray.
He changes the line about taking reasons to all your bull's reasons.
Yeah.
And he tweaks the chorus to saying, I bet you think about me.
Yeah, that's not a joke. That's raw, angry resentment.
And it directly contradicts the whole we're friends narrative of an amicable split.
It creates this incredible tension. The public show is designed to be amicable and resilient, but this lyric change, it risks proving those reports that the breakup was actually really painful and that Kidman felt betrayed. It threatens to expose the whole thing.
So what does he do when his own art starts revealing too much truth? He shuts the audience down.
He scolds them. He was forced to address the speculation from the stage, and his message was blunt.
I've been covering like this for a long time. Stop reading into it.
The hypocrisy there is fascinating, isn't it?
It is. He wants the buzz from the Maggie Baugh change and the Nicole joke. He wants that media attention.
But the second his performance reveals something that feels a little too real, a little too painful, something that contradicts the official story,
he demands that everyone stop analyzing it. He wants the show, but not the scrutiny of the truth behind it.
It's using performance to control the narrative when it helps him, but dismissing it as just a show when it threatens to expose him.
So this whole Keith Urban, Nicole Kidman divorce really did provide a kind of blueprint for controlling public perception.
Absolutely. Finish all the messy legal and financial stuff in private, months in advance.
And then you dominate the media cycle with a viral, self-deprecating moment to establish your own resilience and divert attention from the colder, career-first story.
And that strategic preparation, the part that required them both to resolve everything behind closed doors and agree not to attack each other publicly, it puts a very specific spotlight on the performance. When you look at that incredibly detailed and asymmetrical parenting plan, 306 days for her, 59 for him, and the pre-signed settlements, the real question is this: can a relationship this big, this high profile, ever really end without the strategic, calculated use of performance to mask the pain and control the fallout?
A truly provocative thought. It seems for these high-stakes celebrity splits, the legal contract only gets you halfway. The performance has to do the rest of the work. You've been listening to The Deep Dive, where we uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.